Hey guys, this is Trading Bruce, back with another video. I recorded a video about a different strategy using this same stock, and I said I would follow up with this video. This one's maybe a little more interesting, I guess. Not really interesting, I guess. They're both pretty cool trades, but I wanted to walk through this. This is, if you did not see the first video, the stock is CalM Foods, CALM. Don't you like a stock symbol called CALM? Now, CalM is one of the largest egg producers in the country, and as you can see here, kind of a big flush down here from inflation, high egg prices, things like that. And that's also bird flu and everything. But the problems were resolved, and CalM has stepped up and has offered I believe it's a $500 million stock buyback program, so they really believe in the stock. And you can see it's starting the trend back up. This line right here is a 200-day moving average, very good sign. It's basically holding the 200-day moving average. Right here, you can see that the 20-day moving average is crossed back above the 50, and what you would like to see is they all start turning up like that, and they're stacked and going higher, right? That's what we want to see. So all this looks great. I'm just scanning charts. I'm always running every day. Of course, I'm trading professionally, and I'm scanning and looking for ideas. Saw this chart looked pretty good. Now during this time frame, depending on when you're watching this video, this was around the first of 2025, when the market just cratered and tanked because of the tariffs and all that kind of stuff. And I'm looking for stocks that are relatively stable. And there's going to be consumer staples and things like that, industrials and utilities and banks and things like that. So this kind of fit the category. But I'm looking at this and I saw it, and the first thing that caught my eye was like, wait a minute. That dividend says $3.46. Now this is Toss Thinkorswim platform if you're not familiar with this. $3.46 dividend. That's pretty big. The last one was $1.49. The one before that was $1.02. The last one before that was 77. This is very abnormal, right? And it is a one-time special dividend, which I thought, well, the stock looks pretty bullish here. The trend, the moving averages, so forth. Now there's a lot, we can go a lot deeper and use Fibonacci and Voodoo lines and Elliott wave and all that kind of stuff, MACD and all that kind of stuff that we use, but I just want to keep it simple here. So I'm looking at this, identified the stock, identified the dividend. The first thing I want to know is, when does this thing pay a dividend? Oh, look at there, it pays on April 30th. Now again, when I initiated this position, it was on April 16. So let me come back here. I'll do a 10-day chart. So I'll do a 20-day chart. So on April 16, that was right here. If you see up here, April 16. So I initiated the position here, and what I did, I went in, and I'm thinking you got to follow this through. It makes a lot of sense. This is what I coined the Wagon Wheel approach long time ago. I wrote a book on it in 2013. It's still out there. It's called Wagon Wheel Income Generator. But basically, I went in and I sold puts ahead of this dividend. So I wanted to own the shares of the stock. So I went in and I sold April. Let me look over here. I sold April 17 puts, naked puts, and I got $2.50 for the put, right? And the puts were $95 strike price. And at the time, the stock was about $95, so I sold them what's called right at the money. So 95 minus 250, I own it at 92.50, right? So I got put to, and I wanted to be in ahead of this dividend. Now I got put to, it only has monthly options, right? So I got put to on 4/17 was the day the options expired, ahead of that dividend. Be very sure you're watching that dividend date. So I got put to here, and I own the stock. It goes ex-dividend on 4/30. I'm good to go. As long as you own it before that X date, you will get this dividend. There's the dividend, $3.46, which is a whopping almost 15% yield. I'm just trying to catch this yield. Jump in, grab that dividend, and get out. There's many ways to do it. I showed it again in another video, how I used actually an iron condor on it. But for this video, I wanted to show you the other method. So I own the shares, and I'll show you here. So I did 1,500 shares. And I know you can size up or down. That's about 130,000 of margin. Obviously you could do smaller, you could do larger. It doesn't matter. You could do, it's in 100 share increments. So you could do 100 shares, and it would be $9,500 essentially. So it was not 93. It was 92.50. So there's 92.50. All right. So sold the puts. I can't show you those because I can't go back to April because they've already expired. This is May the 2nd when I'm recording this video. But I sold those for $2.50. Got put to, again, 95 strike price minus $2.50 for the put premium. So my cost basis is 92.50. So I own the stock. I will catch this dividend, and I'll get $3.46. And I've already gone out to June, and I went to 100, and I sold the 100 strike price calls for, I got $2.50 for it. They're going for a little more now, but let's say $2.50. So, and I did 15 contracts. Oops, 15. Okay, so if I do nothing else, I bought the stock at 92.50, including the put, right? And if I get called out at 100, I will make $2.50 on the call premium as well, right? So, but wait, there's more. That's not all, right? So if you look over here, you see this over here? The max profit will be, that's $15,000. That's pretty good, but wait, there's more. I get this because I own it on X date. I do own it on the X date. It's already gone X dividend. I own it on the record date. I will actually own it on the pay date. I will own it on the pay date because the pay date's 15 May. So I'll own it on pay date. I'll catch that dividend. So we get $3.50. So $2.50 plus $3.50, right? From the dividend is that actually makes that $6. Is my math right? Yeah. $2.50, $3.50, $6, right? So check this out. Let's do $6, right? All right. So again, I'll write this down for you real quick. I got $2.50 on the puts. I got $2.50 on the calls. I got I'm saying $3.50 is actually $3.46, but let's just say $3.50 on the dividend, right? So that's $8.50. So I'm making $8.50 on the stock, which I actually own the stock at 95. Now, you can either say it's at 250. You can say 90, you own the stock at 92.50, or you can say 95 and have the 250, as long as you track it correctly, right? So if I make $8 on a $95 investment, wait, again, but wait, that's not all. So if I own the stock at 92.50, let's say 90, I'll just do this at 95. We'll do it this way. So if I own it at 95 and I get called out at 100, that's an additional $5, right? So I bought it at 95. I'll sell it at 100. That's $5. So 250 plus 250 is 5 plus 3 is 850, right? 850 plus an additional 5 gives me 1350 total on $95 investment is 14.21%. So 14%, and I'll hold this for, I think it ended up being like 54 days. It's right under a month, 54 days. And that works out to be, so just let's say that's 60 days for round numbers. Let's say it's 60 days. I make 14%, you know, for 60 days, that's 7% a month, roughly. If you were able to do that every times 12, every month, that's about 84% a year. You're pushing doubling your money in a year. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to do it every month, and you make it more, you make it less. This is a little bit higher dividend than normal, but this is a process that I go through all the time, and I wanted to show you that and see how it works. So the max profit up here, if you see over here, is $20,250 on 139,000. So that's a pretty good return on a stock that is a very stable. Look at this beta, 0.15. That's a super, super calm stock, right? Calm, get it? Calm stock. I know it's kind of corny, but again, I'm looking for these things. And again, the thing about it is I'm totally fine owning the stock. If I have to hold it longer, that's fine. Getting put to is not a big deal for me because I don't mind holding it. However, it's not Nvidia, it's not Amazon, it's not Apple. I don't want to be in this thing for 5 years. I want to be in it for as long as I can to grab this dividend, make my money, and get out. Again, in a pretty calm stock when the market's in turmoil. I think these kind of ideas work very well. So I hope that makes sense. I know that sounds like a lot of moving parts. Very straightforward. Again, I wrote a book on it called The Wagon Wheel Income Generator. I'm actually going to write an updated version. That version I wrote in 2013. But I'm going to update the book and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to know more, want more detail, or want some help on doing things like this, let me know. I do these all the time. And just let me know. I will help you any way that I can. I'm at Simpler Trading. I have a trading room there, and we do these trades all the time. So with that, let me wind it up. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. And I will follow up with more videos of more cool and interesting trades that I do. Thanks. Take care.